Okay, next up, Davina Kwani, CEO of Element Apothec.
Hi,
Davina,
I give you a mouthful, right?
feel free to introduce yourself and correct me. The floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Davina Kawanohi, the CEO of Element Apothec. I'm happy to be here today. I hope that you all are having a great day. I've really enjoyed the presentation so far and feel fortunate to be with such an incredible group of people. So Element Apothec is a new clean and luxurious CBD brand redefining the body care and wellness industry, positioned to be a market leader by meeting the needs of today's conscious consumer. As you can see, my story started a long time ago with a plant. I grew up seeing so many people benefit from cannabis. My dad was a Vietnam veteran and would often tell me that without cannabis, he wouldn't be able to make it through the day. He couldn't sleep. He wouldn't be able to walk outside of his door. And I recall a seminar, I was sitting in school and they said, if anyone's family parents do drugs, raise your hand. If they smoke marijuana, raise your hand. And I went home and we talked about it extensively. And I always wondered when it was going to change, when people would realize the actual benefits of the plant. So I'm really excited many years later after exiting through corporate America to be starting a company in this space. Element Apothec was born in a kitchen, not a lab. When our co-founder, who was my great aunt, suffered from several medical conditions and autoimmune diseases, she created products that could help her. She realized that the toxins and preservatives in many of the products were causing her medical conditions to worse. She created over 40 custom formulations. Today, now with medical oversight, we are bringing those formulations to the market. The problem today is that consumers don't know who or what to trust. CBD holds a lot of promise, but most brands don't live up to it. Personal care products are filled with toxins and harmful ingredients. There's over 1,400 toxic ingredients that are allowed in products in the United States that are banned in Canada and Europe. So you can see we have a problem. There are low quality products flooding the market with little to no transparency. Many products have no medical oversight, and there's often an absence of ingenuity or product variation with so many white labeled products in this space. The solution is Element Apothec. We have created 100% clean and safe products with medical oversight. We have transparency and are committed to sustainability. Our never ever promise means that we will never ever use any toxic or harmful ingredients in any of the products we create. And we are leading the market utilizing not just CBD, but utilizing the benefits of other minor cannabinoids such as CBG and CBN, and we'll continue to add more to our products as there's more research available on these additional cannabinoids. We also have a big commitment to education through our blog, and Dr. Swathi and I, who's our Chief Science Officer, recently started a show on Razzle Cannabis Network that's called The Science Behind the Plant to really educate consumers about things like their endocannabinoid system and what does homeostasis mean. By educating people, we're able to level up the market and bring it to everyday consumers. We have created a really impressive team that has over 60 years of relevant experience and have an impressive medical advisory board, including, as I mentioned, Dr. Swathi, our Chief Science Officer, who is actually releasing a educational series for pharmacists to introduce cannabis into traditional pharmacology and serves as an adjunct professor at several universities. And Dr. Marvin Singh, who is the Director of Integrative Medicine at UC Irvine. And how do we stack up against other brands? We feel that we hold a really incredible value proposition against many of the brands in this space. And as you all know, the market opportunity is huge, but what's unique about our products is that not only do we touch the hemp-based and cannabis market, but we also are able to reach the wellness market and the beauty market as well. There are over 240 million new consumers that are coming to the market, and we have an opportunity to have an impact on these consumers. And our financials, although are aggressive, we feel they're very reachable with our plans that we have in place for our omnichannel sales approach and marketing campaigns. To date, we are ready to launch with 5 products. Our online product sales begin next month, and we've already incorporated several wholesale commitments, including showcased by Cal Ethos. We have a few online marketplaces. Several practitioners as well have signed up to work with us. We have received CertClean certification and Leaping Bunny certifications so that we're also walking the talk. We're putting our words and our efforts where we communicate with our consumers. We've established key partnerships, including Tag One for transparency, so that consumers can see exactly where their products come from, exactly what part of the world that those ingredients are sourced from.
Davina, we're at 5 minutes, 60 seconds left.
Okay, great, thank you. And our omni-channel sales approach will allow us to be able to reach several consumers. We have an aggressive influencer marketing campaign and additional traditional marketing channels that we'll use. Our customer wants to take care of themselves. They want a brand they can trust. We are currently raising $500,000 through a convertible note. And you may be asking yourself, why invest in Element Apothec? It's trust, plain and simple. Invest now and join us on our journey to set a new standard of clean science. Element Apothec, never ever anything but good. I'm done.
Davina, well done. Are you in Orange County?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Excellent. Judges, who has a fantastic question? I think all the judges have had an opportunity to speak. So if someone has a question here, come on in. In the meantime,
this is Chris over at Cleva. Nice presentation. Really like the branding, and your presentation was really clean and super easy to understand. There's a lot of hemp CBD beauty products coming into market. Do you see what do you see as your main point of difference in terms of product or brand? Is it really based around trust, or are there any other things that on top of that you think might give you a competitive advantage in a pretty crowded space?
Yeah, I understand the market is really competitive. I do think trust is something that is going to really be a unique offering for us, and really focused on the transparency and showing all of the ingredients and holding true to exactly the products that we have. But in addition to that, I think the educational component behind it is something that a lot of brands are lacking. And I think that that's something that consumers are really needing, so that we can, bring CBD products to the mainstream consumer.
Got it. And what kind of margins do you see in beauty products like this?
Yeah, I mean, the margins are pretty incredible. Our margins currently, depending if it's wholesaler, in the 50 to 60% range, direct to consumer are in the 70 to 80% range. And that's what's incredible about that, is that we're also utilizing some of these other minor cannabinoids that obviously have a higher cost value, but all of the ingredients that we're using are organic and EcoCert, and many of our products, for example, our lotion or balm, have 15 plus ingredients, and some of those oils are pretty expensive, but we feel the value of those are really important. And even adding all those ingredients, we're still able to keep those margins where they're at.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll go well towards building trust. Thank you.
Thanks.
Davina, those are great margins on the wholesale, 50 to 60. In this space, I think if you're going to price yourself at 70 to 80% direct to consumer, you're going to compete with your wholesalers. So you're going to want to probably want to raise those margins up, your direct to consumer, because you got to give your wholesaler, your distributor, you've got to give them room to make profit too, and you're kind of not allowing them enough room. But I along the same questions, as far as besides trust or education, talk about your traction that you've had with your wholesale commitments. What's the order that they've put in? What's the minimum order requirement? Are they putting in a reorder? Tell us more about that traction so far.
Yeah, so we're just actually launching our products for sale next month. We do have some commitments already though, and I can go in detail about those. Our minimum order is 500 units. We do have some, we're actually in conversations with a GPO medical practitioner network that We're probably finalizing that this week. That's a pretty significant order. I can't go into details about that. And some of the other online marketplaces, some of them are more of the drop ship type arrangement. We do have a subscription box that's going to be ordering 1,000 units. We'll be launching that the end of October with them. I'm in conversations with another subscription box that's much more significant than that. And then a couple of the retailers around that 500 mark per order to initially start with.
Excellent, thank you. Judges, any questions? We've got 2 minutes left. I have a quick one. What's the one thing that keeps you up late at night, or the one thing that you really have to execute in this crowded field? What would that be?
It's really to bring brand awareness to why and how we're different. That's the thing that keeps me up awake, because we are going into a crowded market, and there's a lot of companies that are saying similar things, that they have organic and clean products and they're the best. But I think when I've looked at those products and I really evaluated what they're offering, I do feel that we have a competitive advantage in terms of the products. We're not just taking a lotion or a balm and adding CBD to it, but we're really looking at every ingredient that can actually add value. And many of these products were created without CBD, and they worked for countless people for many years. And so now we've enhanced those products by what we're doing. And so the biggest thing is, how can we get people to know about us? And that is going to come through marketing, messaging, influencers, continuing with the education, the show that we're doing, to show people who we are and that we're actually someone that is a brand that they can trust, and that's going to create products that really help them.
And the 500,000 that you're raising, could you quickly run us through the use of proceeds?
Yeah, so the 500,000 that we're using, a majority of that is going towards marketing. We've already invested our own money to pay for the products and to bring them to where we're at this point. The additional part of that will be continued for research and development, and then to continue to bring on additional consultants and build our team to be able to scale. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do all that with 500,000, but a majority of that is going to be going towards marketing expenses.
Excellent. Well done. I encourage you to check the chat room. It looks like you brought a bunch of raving fans over there that are in full support of what you're doing.
Great.
Thank you very much.